Merry meet Taurus, Taurus sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Taurus, starting today, the 12th of March, 2023. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Rachel and the lovely Shirley, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you, Taurus and friends of Taurus, for joining us for this 2-week reading. This is the Tarot Grand Lux, and that's what we are reading with today. I have already purified with this beautiful verbena by Coswell Mozzie. You can find out how to purchase each of those products in the video description of this very video on my YouTube channel. Like I said, this is a 2-week reading for all you Taurus, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon signs. Starting today, the 12th of March, 2023. It's going out to you whether you're watching live or on a restream, so that does end up being a lot of Taurus that are listening to this reading. So if it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, it may not be your reading. In that case, just disregard it and listen instead to one of the zodiacal readings for your other signs, or also remember that we have general readings each and every day for all signs except for Monday. I don't read with card reversal, so you're going to see me flipping cards right side up. That's just how I like to read. All is well, I promise. We have a shop, and that's over at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. You can purchase the decks that I read with, plus all kinds of other merchandise. It's an affiliate store, so we make a small commission off of each and every sale. Another way to give us some support is by sending a donation. You can do that by going to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. We don't yet have super stickers or super chats available on our YouTube channel, so you can't use those yet, but those will come soon. So in the meantime, if you want to donate, you can just go to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you're watching on Twitch, make sure that you follow us. And you can watch us on Twitch without any ads by subscribing to us there. All right, Taurus, I'm going to just shuffle up a couple more times. Make sure these are nice and randomized for you. Give it a nice clean cut. And then we will see what's in store in the cards for all of our gorgeous, amazing, and beautiful Taurus. Fabulous Taurus. King of Coins, that's one of your cards. I think you're doing pretty well. What's this one? 3 of Cups, good karma card, and the Fool card. I love this reading. This is just wonderful. Now, let's start with the Fool. The Fool sometimes can be a tricky card because it's the wild card. It's the wild card. And you have a little bit of Fool in you. And that's nice because sometimes, Taurus, people think of you as sort of like this real stable, real sturdy, real slow moving, no surprises. And they don't realize that you also have a real spontaneous side to you, that you have a real Venusian side to you that that likes not only beautiful things because they're beautiful, but likes beautiful things because they're artistic, and you have some uniqueness about you that sometimes you don't show to the world, and you're being encouraged to show the world your spontaneity, to show the world that you are a lot more than meets the eye, right? And normally, the Fool is cautioning against leaping before you look, cautioning to make sure that you're not being careless. And of course that goes without saying. Please do that. So if that's speaking to you, absolutely make sure that you've got both feet on the ground. Watch where you're going. But for the most part, I don't think it's talking about that. It's talking about how you can feel free to be spontaneous, to have some fun, to be childlike, to embrace your innocence and not always be business as usual. It's not always about getting things done. right? It's about enjoying yourself. And I think you know this, and I think you're doing this. It's just that sometimes when you demonstrate that, people are surprised. Let them be. Let them be shocked. You don't always have to be the solid, stable one. You can also do some things that are spontaneous. All right, this Three of Cups is talking about you're on I don't want to say on fire because it's not a fire card, but you're really on a roll. And the reason why you're on a roll is because of all the wonderful work you have been doing, probably for a long, long time. So a lot of this karma that's been sort of building up in your karmic bank account is starting to really materialize. And it's going to be, karma just means cause and effect. It's not a moralism thing. It just means cause and effect. The causes, you've been working really hard in certain areas and doing certain things and not necessarily seeing the results. And now you are. The results are showing themselves. And it's telling you that as those results show themselves, two things. On one hand, you want to be able to take a break. You want to be able to just let things be, have fun. On the other hand, you don't want to do that to the point where you, like we said before, don't pay attention to what's going on. So there's a balance that you need to have there. But for the most part, this is encouraging you to have some fun and to let a lot of the work you've done do its work for you, and that you don't always have to be on the ball, right? Now this is you. This is this King of Coins, and there's no reason for you to ever think about apologizing for being who you are. Sometimes people think you're materialistic. You're not. You're not materialistic. Materialism is thinking that material possessions are your salvation. You don't think that. But at the same time, you have great respect for the material universe. You have great respect for the manifestations that you work so hard on. You work really hard for these things, and you don't have to apologize for that. You don't have to accept people's opinion that, oh, you're so materialistic. No, you're not. No, you're not. You deserve the wealth that's coming to you. You deserve the things, the beautiful things that you have, because you use them in a very spiritual way. You do. They represent spiritual principles to you, and a lot of times people don't understand that. The motto for Taurus is I have, or sometimes I own. And so own it. Definitely own it. It's okay to have. It's okay to have things. And obviously you're generous too. It's interesting how people will call you materialistic until they need some of the material stuff that you have to share with them, isn't it? This is like, oh, my materialistic self isn't so bad now, is it? Right? So you're very generous. You're a very kind, generous force in this world, and you deserve to have some fun. You deserve to have a lot of fun, actually. So over these next couple of weeks, enjoy yourself. Really give yourself that opportunity to have enjoyment. Not everything has to be serious business all the time. I should have been shuffling this whole time so there wouldn't be this lag in your reading. Let me shuffle one more time and I'll open these cards up. It's a gorgeous reading. Oh my. Let's see if there's any advice for you though. All right, Taurus. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna shuffle one more time. I'm sorry to delay. But I'm thrilled with this reading. I'm thrilled with all of the wonderful things that are coming about. And you've been working so hard. You deserve this payoff. You deserve it. Okay, we've got a Four of Cups. Good for you. See, I told you, it's all spiritual. You have the spiritual practice. And the spiritual practice includes material things. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Look at this gorgeous star card, this divine grace. That's who you are. You are living in divine grace right now. You are living in divine grace. That means that you have not only, see, because sometimes Taurus, sometimes you can hold a grudge. Let's just, it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge the fact that, and sometimes you need to. Sometimes it's not that you need to hold the grudge, but sometimes you need to hold people accountable. And it's just like, yeah, I'm glad you're apologizing, but we're not ready to forgive you just yet. We've got to get through this. And then I'll forgive you. I promise it'll come, but we're not there yet. That's okay. But sometimes it gets a little bit out of hand. Sometimes you get to that point where you just refuse to forgive somebody, and you refuse to let up off of them. And this is telling you that it's telling me that it looks like you're changing that you're really letting in some of that grace. And remember that the more you forgive other people, the more you forgive yourself. And that when you forgive other people, that you're not condoning their behavior necessarily, but you're recognizing that they're the innocent child of the universe, and you're willing to see them as that, even though their behavior sometimes is off. And you're seeing that, and you're recognizing that, and it's a beautiful thing. Look at the 6 of Wands. Your work is ready to have a miracle. So your career, your work is ready for a miracle. And that's why this Fool card, I think, is really talking to you about keeping an open mind, having some playtime, having some innocence, doing things that are a little out of character for you. Because what that's going to do is open your mind to this miracle that is imminent. The solar light card, the 6 is the sphere of the miraculous. It's that 6th sphere on the Hermetic Tree of Life. It's represented by the sun, but it's not the physical sun. It's the universal sun. It's the life force of the universe. A lot of people would call that in Christic esoteric terminology, in Christian Kabbalah, it's called the Son of God. We call it the Holy Child. The Holy Child in paganism, or the Divine Child, or Mabon in the Celtic. In the Celtic mysteries. And what that is it's the part of the human consciousness that is unified. That realization that there is, on a certain level, all of us are one person. All of us are one being. And it's through that understanding that miracles occur. And so what's happening is it's manifesting in your work. These miracles are manifesting in your work or in your career. And so you can really expect some very interesting, very mystical experiences in your work or career. And it's going to be so different for so many of you. And that's why you're being encouraged to almost play the fool sometimes, meaning have some fun, have some open-mindedness, because through your work, you're going to have the ability to not only receive miracles, but be the conduit for miracles for other people. There's a lot of healing that's ready to happen from this grace of the star goddess to you, and also through you to other people. So I hope I'm making sense there. So listening to that solar light meditation is really smart. And then also listening to that star goddess meditation. I think it's called Receiving the Divine Grace of the Star Goddess. I always forget what it's called. Yeah, Receiving the Divine Grace of the Star Goddess. You can find my meditations on my YouTube channel in the video description of this video, and also on my website, ariels-corner.com. And I just want to point out a couple more things before we end this. The reason why you're doing so well is because most of you have a spiritual practice. Most of you have a definite spiritual practice that you follow. And because of that sort of systematic spiritual practice, all of your life is really coming into a very laser focus. And you're being used in a good way by a higher power, whatever you call that, to bring a lot of healing and a lot of grace to the world. And like I said before, a lot of people just see you as being this sort of practical sort of person, and they don't understand how much of a spiritual giant you are. And that's okay. It's part of it. It's part of sort of like sometimes we wear a disguise. It's sort of being like a part of a spiritual underground. So it's okay if people don't understand who you are. It's okay that they don't always understand how much of a spiritual giant you are. They can just think that you're whatever we said earlier, like a materialistic person. They don't need to know the truth, because they'll get it anyway. Because like I said, you're going to be a conduit for so much healing, for so many miracles, not only for yourself, but for a lot of people that you come into contact with in your career, in your work. So your work is highly blessed, and you're doing so well. And all of the blessings that you receive, you deserve those, and they're just starting. They're just starting. So look forward to that Have some fun over these next couple of weeks. That's part of it all. Receive that grace. Allow yourself to be used for miracles and healing in your work. And keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great. All right, much love. Oh, and also keep remembering that tendency that you sometimes have to hold a grudge, that's the one thing you want to really make sure that you're staying on top of, that it's okay to forgive people. You're not gonna condone their behavior, and you're not gonna perpetuate that negative behavior as you forgive them. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thank you to the amazing moderators, Rachel, Shirley, and Ray. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Taurus. Blessed be.